Anyone that lives in Miami will more often than not tell you that public transportation over here is rather mediocre. This can be seen in a range of situations, from delayed buses and trains to simply deplorable conditions in these buses. It is tricky to understand why public transportation isn't as widely used as in other places. While American car culture plays a big role in this, I believe it is best to leave it for another time, as this is a discussion worth of itself. Let's take a look at the cold facts, what we actually have clear information on, that cannot be disputed, since the quality of the system is a more subjective topic that could change from person to person. In this first graph, it can be seen that while in the fiscal year of 2019, from the Miami-Dade County Ridership Technical Report of January 2022, in all modes of public transit combined, you can see a total ridership number of 79,096,594 people. While this may seem like a lot, this is rather ridiculous, and even you could say just a graphical speck compared to other systems such as the one from Budapest. While a little rusty, we can assume the numbers haven't changed all that much. In 2011, this system amounted to almost 1.4 billion riders in that single year. This low ridership, this referring to the Miami-Dade, can also be identified in a survey done by the US Census Bureau. Only about 54,818 people reported commuting to work using public transit. That is like 5% of all workers commuting to transit. But why is it so low? While many different people can come up with many different answers, I made a survey myself asking about what people thought about the system itself. These are some of the results. As we can see, people do not find using public transit here in Miami as a more efficient alternative to driving. As to why this may be, many can point out that the metro rail is not taking people where they mainly have to go. This is supported by the overwhelming amount of people voting in favor of an expansion of the metro rail system. Something that may play a role also could be buses getting stuck in traffic and, well, being late, or these same buses just not following the schedule. Another problem that could be in the detriment of the system is how some people I've talked to report some buses breaking down every now and then. Even with this online survey I made, I would still like to interview people that use these systems and ask them what they may think about it, because who else but the people that use these systems daily to share their thoughts on this. But I would also like to find voluntaries that could tell me why they find driving such a superior alternative, besides what can usually be assumed. This being the comfort of driving by yourself and going wherever, whenever.
Hello guys, we're in the Doral trolley right now. We are with this fine gentleman. What's your name?
Osvaldo.
Do you speak English, Osvaldo?
A little bit.
Would you rather make this interview in Spanish?
If you understand, you can put the subtitles.
Yeah. We put the subtitles. Bueno, entonces, dígame, señor Osvaldo, ¿qué le parece el trolley?
Bueno, yo personalmente uso bastante el trolley, pero el trolley, bueno, es bueno, a veces llega tarde, a veces llega temprano, pero el trolley, pues, el del Doral, pues, simplemente sirve solo para el Doral. Entonces, si uno se quiere mover para algún otro sitio que no sea esta ciudad, pues, no puedes hacer más nada, a menos que tomes este, pero es una excepción y ya, pues.
Pero ¿considerarías que es complicado agarrar esos otros modos de transporte?
Sí, especialmente dentro del mismo Doral, porque toca tipo ir que sí que dentro de o sea, que sí que tomar dos trolleys para poder ir para otro, y la estación del metro es muy complicado, pues.
Vale. Pero, ¿y de puntualidad? ¿Está usualmente a tiempo o llega muy temprano o muy tarde?
Es como sacar una baraja, literal, de lotería. O a veces llega muy temprano o a veces llega muy tarde, pues.
Vale, muchas gracias, señor Osvaldo, se le agradece.
Nada.
We are with another kind man here in the Doral trolley that offered to give an interview. What's your name?
Sebastian, hello.
Hello, Sebastian. How would you rate this experience in the trolley, and what would you say is like its weaknesses and its strengths?
I mean, its weaknesses is that the frequencies are very bad. Then you can only travel through the route, and you can move only to the law, and that's.
And have you taken the metro, the county bus?
I actually just came with the metro because I dropped off my father at the airport. He was traveling today, and yes, and the Uber was too expensive.
How would you rate it? Is it good? Is it fast?
No, it's actually pretty slow. I just waited half an hour in the train station and another 20 minutes in the airport, and I would have been here already at my home.
So you wouldn't recommend it?
No, if you want to travel cheap, yes, but in other sense, no.
What would you say we should change of this system here in Miami?
There should be more frequencies and more lines and easier. It's from here from the road. It's pretty bad, but it's pretty difficult to go to Miami Beach or something like that, or somewhere over there, or to Fort Lauderdale. It's pretty slow over here.
All right, Sebastian, thank you very much. Hola, muy buenas. Estamos acá con este señor. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Buenas, me llamo Luis.
Mucho gusto,
Mucho
Luis.
gusto.
Bueno, Luis, dime, aquí estás esperando el trolley, ¿verdad?
Sí, la verdad es que estaba esperando el trolley, pero desgraciadamente acaba de pasar hace 10 minutos y yo acabo de salir de trabajar. Estaba pensando en agarrarlo por acá, pero bueno, ya pasó. Voy a tener que esperar al siguiente, desgraciadamente.
Verga, pero esto... Aquí falta como... Perdón, aquí falta como una banqueta, como algún sitio donde sentarse,
Sí.
¿no?
Cada vez que salgo del trabajo, desgraciadamente, vengo para acá siempre con la intención de sentarme un poco, revisar el celular, revisar algunos mensajes del trabajo o algo. Y lo único que hace falta de verdad aquí es una banqueta. O sea, es lo que más hace falta y lo más necesario en esta parada. Y me parece una tontería que no esté. Me parece algo que lo deberían haber puesto ya hace tiempo.
Pero una pregunta, ¿el trolley te dejó por qué? ¿Porque llegaste tarde o porque fue que llegó muy temprano?
Bueno, la verdad es que el trolley llegó muchísimo más temprano de lo que debería haber llegado. Yo diría que llegó como unos 7 minutos más temprano. Y esos 7 minutos en verdad es lo que yo camino del trabajo para acá.
Vale, Luis, muchas gracias. Espero que no pierdas el próximo.
Sí, cómo no.
Dale.
What Lewis said was something that I found very interesting, and to a certain degree, very relevant when understanding why people take or do not take buses. And why is that? Well, a good amount of stops around the Raw and overall of Miami-Dade don't have benches or shelters. And that makes me think, what about people that need to sit down, that have to do it? Maybe that they are too tired from a long day of work or a long day of study. Elderly people whose bodies just cannot do it anymore. Pregnant women who, well, they're pregnant. It's a heavy burden on their bodies. Or people with disabilities. What about them? Without benches, they are suddenly alienated from using this system. Well, not really alienated, but you gotta recognize that it becomes all of a sudden less comfortable and more inconvenient to take it. But as day-to-day citizens, we don't really have that much leveraging power to, change this. But you know how we can have it? By coming together, pressuring local politicians to change this. Pressure a town hall in your respective cities or the county to improve these systems. We have stuff like the half-penny tax for improving of public transit, and many people have claimed that this has been, a rip-off. They don't feel like they have actually gotten what they were promised with this new tax included. But hey, realistically, there's not much we can do. We can always inform people about what the benefits of using public transit might be, of why maybe we want to expand the system, so because at the end of the day, public transit is a very useful weapon against stuff such as climate change, poverty, and a bunch of other issues. Why? Well, for once, you're putting a bunch of people in one single vehicle. It's contaminating a lot less. But also, like, it's nice not having to pay thousands of dollars in order to be able to move everywhere. But overall, I'll go back to my first point. We cannot do much by ourselves. So realistically, our only solution is to ask politicians to change this reality, to ask them to, improve these systems, or outright vote them out of office if they don't want to do it, and get new ones that will actually do it. But not everything has been bad news, eh? There have been efforts to actually make a new line of monorail connecting the mainland to Miami Beach, which would be very beneficial. It would solve a lot of issues with like traffic. You don't have to get stuck in traffic, and pretty sure it's at MacArthur. And well, for tourism, it would be a boost. Imagine just like selling, ride in our monorail to go to Miami Beach. But yeah, I'd say that's pretty much what we can do. And on top of this, there have been also interest in expanding the metro rail system. In fact, one expansion up north, for example, or even might be what not everyone wants. It's a step ahead at the better bus network. This system will actually improve travel distances everywhere for countywide buses, and will actually cover a lot more of surface than what they're actually covering right now. With systems such as this proposed by politicians who have actually listened to their constituencies, we can actually move forward. Because you see, there's one thing with public transit and private vehicles that we get wrong, and it is that a truly developed country is not where everyone has cars. A truly developed country is where even the rich use public transit. This was Juan Rivera, and I wish you everyone a good night.